Okay, so each week there's going to be an asynchronous assignment for you to complete, and you'll find those in the folder for each week. So for instance, here if you go back to the week 1 folder, I've now updated the title of it. You'll see there's the week 1 asynchronous material folder. So you'll look for something like this each week. Of course, here's the reading assignment that we're skipping ahead to for the second week. The assignments, if you click on them, you'll see the instructions. So let's see, view instructions. So here it is. All right, here's the short of it. If you are familiar with R, what you're doing is creating a report PDF or Word document from that Chapter 2 script file by inserting all the code into an R code chunk within a Markdown document. That's probably how you would have done it in Stats 215, or possibly in a Quarto document. And then you're going to knit that together into a PDF or Word and submit it back here. So the only thing you need to remember to do, if you've done this before in Stats 215, is just make sure that you create that document in the same folder as you have this data set, or else you need to tell RStudio where this data set's located. It's going to look for it in the same folder as the Markdown document. Now, if you have not done this before, I'll show you how to do it in the video, and you can also read through the Chapter 2 course notes. So let's go ahead and get started. So, after you take a look at the assignment, you're going to want to go into RStudio. So log back in, right, rstudio.gvsu.edu. When you log back in, it should, after a few moments, take you back to immediately where you left off in class the last time you had RStudio open. So you should see this Chapter 2 file here open. If you don't, then look in your folder where you saved all of your PLS 300 work. Look for that chapter2.r file and click on it, and it will open it up here. So what we're going to do is put all of this code into another document that will run the code and run any output. So it's going to import the data, and then it'll calculate some summary statistics, although those aren't really important. It will create a histogram, and this will be in the report, and all of these other plots. And these will all be in the Word document or the PDF document, and then you can submit that for credit. So it's pretty cool, actually, when you get it all together and you get it running. So to do that, we have to create the file. So it's either an R Markdown document or it's a Quarto document. So if you've done Quarto in Stats 215, you can do that. Here, we'll just use R Markdown. It's kind of the same end product, just the way it works is a little different. And R Markdown is what's covered in Chapter 2 of the course notes. So if you need a review of this or you want to learn more about it, you can check out the Chapter 2 course notes that are available in that Week 1 folder on Blackboard. So what you're going to do first is you're going to click this file here, R Markdown, and then you'll see something like this. You can give it a title, and then you can put your name here, and then you're going to scroll down and then press OK. And so when you take a look at this file, you can read about what it's telling you the file will do. When you click the knit button, which is right here, the little ball, it's the ball of yarn and the knitting needle. When you click it, it's going to generate a file. Now the default is HTML, so it will generate an HTML page. We're actually going to end up submitting a PDF or a Word document back to Blackboard, but we're going to first just click this button and see what happens so you can observe what it creates. The key is that we include the code from, and we're going to do this eventually, not now, we'll include all the code from the Chapter 2 script file in an R code chunk, and then it will create all the visualizations for us, and then we'll turn that in. But if you just try this right now, it's going to first ask you to save it. So you can say Week 1 async. That's fine. And then just press save. So now it's rendering it, which means it's running all that code, and then here it is. So it's opened up the file, and then you can see here's this file here, and then you can see it's included the plots. Mine is, I'll have to move it up so you can see it all here. So, right. So that's the document that creates this work. So some of this we have to leave here. We're not going to change it. We're going to start at line 12. Now, line 12 is a title line. So in the Markdown file, the hashtags refer to like headers. So we can call this week 1 asynchronous. And then if you were going to include a discussion of your work, you would, write that here basically at the beginning of the document or wherever. What you're going to do next is from line 13 down, just delete everything. So I'm hitting the delete key. Everything is deleted. There's nothing else here. It just says week 1 asynchronous, and that's it. You can click the save button if you want. Now what we're going to do is insert an R code chunk for the chapter2.r file. We're going to hit the backtick key 3 times. So the backtick key on most keyboards, it's to the left of the number 1 key. You just hit that key 3 times, and then you're going to do an open bracket, an R, and a closed bracket. Then you're going to press return a few times, and then you're going to press the backtick button 3 more times. So this is the R code chunk. Any R code that goes in here within these lines will automatically be run by RStudio, and so if there's any output like a visualization or a table, it will create that within the Word or PDF document that we're about to create. So all we're going to do is take the chapter2.r contents and just copy paste it into here. All right, so we will do that right now. So, you can start at the top, and if we were actually doing this for an assignment, you would really want to narrow this down and just include the code that's necessary for the assignment. But here we're just getting used to the process of doing this, so we're going to press copy. So of course you can also press Command or Control A or whatever, and then copy paste it. So we'll go back here, and then here's the thing, we're going to press paste. Right? So you're going to paste all of that back into that R code chunk. So now the entire contents of the chapter2.r file are in this R code chunk, right? So if you had a discussion of the results, that could go outside of the R code chunk, and we'll see what that looks like. Otherwise, the R code chunk goes in here, and that's it. And so we're going to save it, and then we'll knit it together, but we're not going to hit this knit button directly. We're going to hit the little arrow to the right of it. So what I just hit was the little arrow next to knit, and then you're going to hit either knit to PDF or knit to Word. I'm going to do knit to PDF so I can show you immediately what it looks like. So you can see there's a lot of stuff going on here. The PDF document was just created, and then here it is. This is that document. So you can see what the code looks like. Here's the R chunk. It begins by running each of these lines, and then it shows you what the relevant output would be for each of these different functions. So the document itself has 9 pages. There's a lot of this stuff that we went through in class, and then you can see as you get further down, all the scatter plots are here that we reviewed in class. All right, and so this is what you're going to be, this file is what you're going to be submitting to Blackboard for credit. So you're going to find this file. So you can see here's that RMD file, here's the output that we created. You're going to select the PDF, hit this button right here. Wait, let me see. Hit the sorry, the menus here are all small for me to record a video that's shorter in that's smaller in file size. So I'll start again to make this clear. So you're going to select this file, then you're going to click on this arrow right here next to the gear, and it should be easier to see on your computer than it is right now on mine, but you're going to hit export. And then what you will do is download the file. So you're just going to download that file after you've selected it. So again, you select the file, you hit this down arrow, you find export, whoops, right here, and then you download the file, and then that's it, that's your work. And then when you're back in Blackboard, you're going to drag and drop your submission file and then hit submit. And that's it. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know.